It's becoming a lot more dangerous just to walk and bike on our nation's streets. Pedestrians and bicycle fatalities are on the rise across the country, and especially here in Texas. Researchers with the Texas A&M Transportation Institute conducted an extensive analysis on the most recent pedestrian and bicycle crash data.
All the data was obtained from the Texas Department of Transportation's Crash Records Information System. And what we really wanted to find out was the who, what, when, and where of pedestrian and bicycle crashes. So who is involved in them, including the drivers, what were the main causes, and when and where the crashes are occurring. Through this investigation, we uncovered some very interesting findings that could help explain the rise in bicycle and pedestrian fatalities.
The analysis was conducted for the Texas Department of Transportation's Walk, Bike, Safe outreach program. The examination found that nearly 80% of pedestrian fatalities occurred at night. Of all crash victims, 65% were male, and blacks were overrepresented as both pedestrians and drivers.
The number one cause of pedestrian crashes was this one thing: failure to yield right-of-way. That's either the motorist not yielding to pedestrians or pedestrians not yielding to motorists. Failure to yield causes these crashes. But when a pedestrian fatality is involved, we found that driver inattention, or not paying attention to the roadway, was the number one contributing factor.
What first seemed like good news, during the pandemic, the number of crashes decreased 13.5%. However, the number of fatalities actually increased by nearly 8%. The analysis also determined that alcohol and drugs were a major factor in fatalities. More than 37% of the pedestrians who were killed were impaired at the time of the crash. And as you might expect, there is a spike in pedestrian crashes at 2 a.m. on weekend nights, coinciding with when many bars close. In a surprising finding, the number of drivers involved in speed-related fatal crashes jumped 87% in 2020.
What we found is that most pedestrian fatalities occur away from intersections. So this may be a situation where a pedestrian decides to cross a road mid-block, and this is a location where the driver is not expecting to see them cross. So they have no expectation of slowing down or of looking for that pedestrian.
Pedestrian crashes occurred most frequently in the state's 5 highest population counties: Harris, Dallas, Bexar, Travis, and Tarrant. However, 4 of these counties, Harris, Dallas, Bexar, and Travis, were overrepresented in pedestrian crashes compared to their portion of the Texas population. Researchers also uncovered a lot of information about bicycle crashes in Texas. For example, of all bicycle crashes, 82% of the victims were males. Of fatal crashes, 31% of bicyclists were impaired, and 13% of the drivers were impaired. Bicyclist injuries were more likely to occur during daylight hours, but fatalities were more likely to occur at night. Also, 73% of bicyclist fatalities happened away from intersections. Travis County was highly overrepresented in bicycle crashes with nearly 13% of the crashes, but just over 4% of the state's 2020 population.
This data can help researchers, engineers, planners, advocates, as well as officials at all levels of government understand the who, what, when, and where of pedestrian and bicycle crashes, so that they can help work on solutions to improve safety for our most vulnerable road users.
You can access the entire report here at walkbikesafetexas.org. The program provides resources to help reduce the number of pedestrian and bicycle crashes. For more information and to review the entire analysis, visit Walk Bike Safe at the address shown here.